Goldman Sachs reported that the creator economy is worth about $250 billion in 2023, and it's expected to grow even bigger in the next few years. So it seems like right now, for anyone who wants to make true generational wealth, the best, fastest, and easiest way to do this is by becoming a content creator. Now, as most of you should know, I've been a content creator full-time now for the last 5 years. I've made millions of dollars. I've gained over 1 million subscribers. And above all, I started from zero without thinking this would ever be my life. After meeting hundreds of other creators, some big, some small, and some that are currently at the top of the top, I've come to learn this one important lesson here. And that is, being a content creator is the new modern day version of the rat race. Look, in the previous rat race, you're stuck in a 9-to-5 working at a cubicle at a job that you don't like. The evolution of that is what I'd consider to be the pigeon race. This here is a surplus of a ton of people who want to escape that 9-to-5 job or to escape the traditional college education route, and they want to create content. The problem is, I've seen more content creators end up being worse off than someone within the traditional rat race.
Stress. So much stress.
Now it's time to take a breather. I can't keep this up.
I've got some bad news for those of you who like this channel.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last theory episode.
This is why I consider content creation the pigeon race. Because pigeons can fly, there is an illusion that they have more freedom, but in reality, they often can't get too far. Now, this is because at least within a 9-to-5, you know that for the hours that you put in, you're gonna get paid. But as a content creator, even if you work double the hours, there is no guarantee that you'll make it. Now, I started my first YouTube channel when I was just 13 years old, recording the TV that I was playing Call of Duty on the Wii on and uploading that over onto YouTube. My next channel around 2015, I uploaded travel vlogs just from my personal memories. And with this channel, I never posted with the intention of ever being able to go full-time. It was just for the memories that I can look back on myself. Now, my next channel following this in 2018 is where I decided to take things a bit more seriously. For this, I went around making content, fishing different ponds, lakes, and oceans around my area and uploading those videos over to YouTube. I put in countless amount of hours as a content creator to never see a penny once from that, and I thought I wasn't good enough to ever be able to do something like this full time. Now, that was up until I decided to start this channel here that you're watching me on now. In my first year of going full time, I was working more hours than I ever put into anything my whole entire life. And you want to know how much I made? Well, after 2018, giving up on the fishing channel was 2019, and I gave this whole YouTube thing a shot, and I made a grand total of $25,000. Now, let's just say I was working 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, which I can say conservatively was the minimum that I was working back then. So that was 48 hours a week. Multiply that by 52 weeks, and I worked 2,496 hours minimum for that whole year. Now, if I calculate the estimated revenue that I made from YouTube, it turns out I hustled hard to make just $10 an hour as a content creator, who on the outside looked like they were doing pretty well as a new channel. Just to give some context, right now, $10 here in my area isn't even minimum wage. In Maryland, minimum wage is actually $15 an hour. Now, the mistake I see so many of you make is that you look at only the top YouTubers and you see the subscriber count, the views, the engagement, and you think that this whole game of YouTube is easy, and most of you come in with the expectation that if they were able to do it, there's no reason that you can't too. Now, my goal here is not to discourage you or to crush the dreams that you may have, but the reason I tell you this is because there is a solution. Now, that solution is exactly what I'm gonna reveal to you step by step in this video here today. Now, I came to have one huge realization, and it was this. If you look at the biggest creators on YouTube, they're not working 24 hours a day around the clock trying to get lucky. Instead, the best creators now follow a simple strategy designed to maximize the earning potential of the content they put out. In the last year, I've personally implemented this strategy, and in December, I was able to make over $50,000 from YouTube AdSense, even when all we did was just post 2 videos. Think of it like this. Many people have the goal in mind of trying to catch viewers who will say are like bumblebees. Most people think the best way to catch a bumblebee is by going ahead, grabbing a net, and trying to just scoop them up when you can. And my approach is instead instead creating a beehive with the world's best honey, and the bees will naturally come to you. So what is this formula? Well, it's what I call the climb method. This here is the new current meta that you can use to succeed without having black bags under your eyes working till 4 in the morning like I did. It's the method where if I knew about it much earlier on, I don't think my hairline wouldn't have receded as much as it did. So let's break it down. C starts for creating content. First, you need to learn what separates good content from bad content and leverage it to make a difference for your viewers. This here is done by providing value, and value can come in many different ways, but the way it'll dominate the space moving forward is just giving people knowledge to transform from where they are now to a better, elevated version of themselves after hearing the content that you have delivered. Next, we have L, and this is leverage your skills. After you've nailed the content, find your unfair advantage. This here will help you to stand out from the crowd. The key to this step is to identify skills and traits that you can leverage within your own content. After this, we have I, impact. After you've mastered the first 2 steps, you'll need to zoom out and leave a lasting impact on your viewer. This here is going to establish trust, which is the foundation of building any solid community. M, make and launch a product. A good product identifies a problem in the marketplace and provides a clear solution. I'll show you here how to properly monetize and create products that are of value to help your audience and to help you become a creator full-time. Last but not least, we got B, bring in the dough. The last stage here is very simple, and all you need to do is learn how to piece everything together. Following my strategy, you'll be able to then succeed as a creator without the stresses and instability that I personally experienced along the way. It's from this where you'll also build invaluable skills that I believe you can use for the rest of your life to pretty much have basically your own money printer that can generate you life-changing money at will. So this is how we're gonna climb up. But before we do, just like any climb, we start at the bottom. All right, so let's begin our climb up by first dissecting number 1, content. So first of all, we need to debunk a huge misconception that I've seen litter the space, and that is the fact that you must first prioritize the understanding of your audience before you do anything else. Look, I've seen other courses, creators, and so-called experts talk about how understanding your audience is the most important first step of your journey. Well, I personally call cap on that. When you're getting started, you have no audience, and who you think you want your audience to be doesn't matter when your focus should just be instead on creating good content. Good content provides value to attract a viewer to the information that you are providing. I think Casey Neistat here said it the best, where in an interview he said you don't need to care about what your viewers think, you just need to make content that provides value. Take a look at my channel. Even now, we've become the authority in several different niches. I've had instances where a 15-year-old kid on a bicycle came to me to talk about certain videos, and I've had the opposite end of that, where 50-year-olds are coming up to me and asking me about certain videos that we have made. But even with having such a diverse audience that I'm not completely sure of, we've still found enormous success in building one of the largest and most profitable channels here on YouTube. Now, in the beginning, it doesn't matter whether you know your audience. If anything, over the years, I've learned that knowing your audience means almost nothing. Last year, I made a video in a completely different niche, something I've never talked about in a dedicated way on my channel. It was also back then where my content was mostly focused on just credit cards, meaning that my normal audience typically wouldn't enjoy what I would be talking about outside of that. Now, instead of trying to guess what my audience may have wanted, I went ahead and decided to be proactive with the type of video I was making, with just the intention of putting as much positive value in it as I could. Fast forward 6 months, and that one video got the total viewership of 10 other credit card videos combined, and it had made me over $35,000. Because of videos just like that, it started to shift the way that I thought about content and the way that I could grow at a faster rate than most other channels similar to my niche. Now, the only change that I really made was focusing on delivering content of high value. So step number 1 in this process is to understand your intention. The difference between a video with 1 view and a video with 1 million views is the intention behind it. Before writing any video, I come up with a clear reason behind why I am making it. Having clarity on the purpose behind a video will help you focus the content towards your end result. Looking beyond that, you should have a bigger intention with your entire channel, which is getting clarity on your own mission statement. In all that you do, spend time first in building out this mission statement and then build out the why between the fruits of what content you're producing. Personally, for me, I do this with everything, and it gives me real intrinsic motivation to see what I set to the end. As an example, something I did last year is with one of my close brothers. I started a 52-week Bible study plan where I was able to finish reading the Bible within the course of a year. Now this year, we decided to expand that. I now host a expanded Bible study session, but one thing I decided to do at the first meet was establishing the mission statement. Now my mission statement here was I wanted to deepen my relationship with God and do it through the accountability through a group of my brothers whom I trust. This year, I'm also running my first marathon, and my mission statement is this. It's to run this marathon to challenge myself and to promote healthy living and being a balanced hybrid athlete. My goal is to complete it in under 3.5 hours. I will overcome these through disciplined training and a balanced diet, and I value perseverance and hope to inspire others to pursue their own fitness goals. Success for me is not just about the time I finish in, but about the journey and the love for the progression along the way, and I am committed to training diligently and maintaining a positive mindset throughout this journey. Now look, your mission statement should be personal and reflective of your own goals and value. In implementing my mission statement, I've seen a far greater success rate in me actually accomplishing my goals, and there's no exception when it comes to doing this, even for your YouTube channel. So for your channel, identify your motivation. Answer these questions. Why are you making a YouTube channel? Why do you want to become a content creator? From here, set specific goals. What do you achieve from creating content? Are you in it just for the money, or is there something more? Next, acknowledge the challenges along the way and give solutions to that. Next, make sure you incorporate your values. Every single person has their own belief, their own values, and what is important to you. An example of this is, say there's a brand that reaches out to you, but you think they are a terrible product that you would never use. Would you mention it to your audience for $1,000? Would you mention it to your audience for $5,000? Would you mention it to your audience for $20,000? Next, envision what success looks like for you. Is it reaching a subscriber milestone or being able to do this full time? Last but not least, you want to make a commitment statement. End with a commitment to yourself, and this is going to be your personal pledge about what you will do to actually achieve those goals that you've set. Once you've completed this, you should then know the details behind the channel that you're starting. So this comes down to 4 things. 1, your channel's core focus. Determine the primary theme of what your channel is going to be. Is it educational? Is it entertainment? Is it vlogs? Is it day in the lives, tech reviews, travel vlogs, whatever? You need to have a clear understanding of what that's going to be. Number 2, consider what makes your channel unique. What will you offer that is different from existing channels? This could be your unique perspective, your presentation style, your subject matter expertise, or even the production quality of the way that you approach the videos. Number 3, content strategy. Define the type of content that you plan to produce. So will it be tutorials, vlogs, interviews, or a mix of different formats? You also want to consider how often you plan to upload. From here, you also want to have a plan on how you're going to engage with your audience that you build. This could involve responding to comments, creating community posts, or integrating viewer feedback into your content. Now, after answering those questions, you're going to have even more clarity to now get you more dialed in on the why behind each video you make. So even for me, before we make any video here on this channel, we write our why as detailed as possible before we even start. An example, well, I'll give you the why for this video. I wrote that I'm making this video because I believe I have something unique to share. It's also going to be a way for me to build my audience and hopefully getting a few of you to take interest in the course that I spent 4 months building with my team, where I poured my heart out into making what I believe can change the lives of others. Next, you want to create a curiosity gap. So it's one thing to have clarity and purpose, but if your video is bland, people just will not care. Value is not just about providing information, it's created by framing the information nuggets to show the viewer how it applies. That's why I've gone ahead and mastered something called curiosity gaps in my videos. Even in fact, right now, I just opened a new one in this video right here. Curiosity gaps are created by showing the beginning and outcome of a topic, but not filling in the middle. This here works especially well for educational content because it allows you to frame why your information is so important. To give you another better example, let's look at Mr. Beast, where in one of his videos, he titled $1 versus $1 million hotel room. It's in this where from even just the title, you have your starting point and understand where you'll end up, but you wonder what each hotel would look like. This here is an example of a curiosity gap. Next, mastering the art of storytelling. Since the beginning of time, humans have shared stories. If you've been following my channel for a while, I'm sure you've heard about 100 different times of how I grew up poor. This year is intentional. I share my story because for anyone who hears the name Brian Jung, I want them to know how poor I was, but how I was able to change my life and have that become the inspiration to serving my audience who watches my video here today. This year gives me credibility, but most importantly, it personalizes my life experience to give you the quickest and fastest story that relates to most people in the world. Earlier in this video, I shared my personal experience in starting my YouTube channel, and if you didn't know my story and you had just seen me now with all the subscribers and the views that we're generating, you may not feel as convicted in some of the things that I'm saying here today. So share your own experiences to add value and context into the content that you're creating. Look, you don't need to be an expert, but you just need to have the ability to learn, filter information, and then present it to an audience. Next, to create high value content, you need to have a framework for success. This year comes from simplifying the information into a framework that mostly anyone can just follow. Remember, for this, you want to keep things simple. So for example, in this video, I broke down my system into the climb process. This spreads out the knowledge into 5 steps. It gives checkpoints that you, the viewer, can follow along with. There are many different frameworks that you can use, as well as different types of videos you can make to make this even easier to follow. Last but not least, you need to do what I call magnetizing your content. So good content pairs up value and a solution. So you need to learn to write your script with a solution in mind. If you know the end goal of this video, you can build out your script in a way that you will attract that perfect audience. And by the way, the perfect audience is the ideal person who will buy the solution or follow your content further. Now, I need to emphasize that you don't want to predict the audience, but you want to guide the video towards a solution and focus just on the content. This way, you can filter the value to make sure that it creates the outcome that you chose for the video. Now, by following this system, you can build valuable content much faster. And I recommend that you start with a bullet point outline for every video and refine your script from there. The goal here is to just get the information down and make it prettier later on. So to summarize, create high value content using my 5-step process to then attract viewers to the content you make. Now let's peel the onion back and go another layer deeper. And this is where you're now going to learn to leverage your skill. Look, providing value is what makes a video stand out, but then leveraging your skills is what makes you stand out. Let's use an example like Sam Solik, who is killing it right now within the finance space, posting long daily videos sharing his workouts. For him, he has the unique perspective of a bodybuilder and a love for fitness, where usually we see a lot of creators having a love for being a fitness influencer instead. This here embodies authenticity with the content that he's posting. Now, the takeaway here is that anytime you see a creator that's popping off, they are leveraging their own unique advantage and skill. Now, it's my question to ask you, what are your own unique skills? If you don't have a clear answer, there's a way that you can figure this out that breaks down into just 2 factors here. Everything we just mentioned fits into what's called conscious qualities that makes you unique, and this can be authenticity, emotions, humor, relatability, or even the way that you deliver your information. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, we have our subconscious qualities. This here is the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you articulate, the way you enunciate, or even your non-verbal body language. So my conscious qualities, things that I have control of, are the way that I present the information in this video. It's a way as a team that we decide to put even more effort and intentionality behind the edits. Or even going back to the example of Sam Solik. His audience is gravitated towards watching him, but they wouldn't be if this man was not looking like the Incredible Hulk that he is now. If he was skinny, if he was scrawny, and he still had the type of videos he was posting, there is no way that he would be getting the views that he's getting now. So subconsciously, we are creating the trust through what we are viewing outside of what someone might be doing consciously. Now, right now, audiences are going to seek out creators that they can relate to. So you need to lock into your unique qualities on every level. And it's actually a lot more simple to figure this out for yourself too. So start by looking around the niche that you're creating content in. So to find your unique lane, you need to look at other creators and take pieces to fit your own unique personality. Once you've found your unique lane, look for elements that can make you stand out even more. As an example, here on this channel, I talk often about my faith, working out, and other traits that I think make me unique. Other ways that I've been intentional about my content is the way that I approach the delivery of information, where within a finance space, some people take things way too seriously. Some people think everything is a joke. I try to be right in the middle of that. Now, these qualities are what makes you unique, so sharing these with your audience will help attract similar people to you that will resonate with the message that you're putting out. Without focusing on this step, all you end up doing is just blending in on YouTube with all the rest of the crowd that exists. If you look around now, the biggest creators aren't shy from expressing their own authentic selves. With what I mentioned, use this process to find your unique advantage and then create a unique format for your own content. Now, going back to climb, we're on I for impact, and this is where you now pair up the high value content with your unique advantage, which opens the door for you to make an impact on your viewer. This is the last missing piece in creating strong content, and let's start by asking why people come for content in the first place. The main core that people will watch any video is at the end of the day to get new information. This here stimulates your brain and gives you enough of a dopamine rush that you'll want to go ahead and seek out over and over again. Now, content is always evolving and growing, but packing as much high value information into your video as possible will forever create a strong impact. The more valuable the information, the more you're going to make a difference. So how can you do this for yourself? Well, it breaks down to a 4-step cycle. Number 1, find concepts that have performed well for you and other people. The best way to find content that stands out is by looking for outliers on your channel and other channels from within the space. Now, an outlier are just channels that have videos that have a higher view count than the subscribers that they have. This here is an indicator that a topic has an outsized value of impact. Now, I start by looking for videos that perform well on my channel first and use those as a starting point to be recreated every few months. It's from here I'll search for similar channels within my niche and keep them bookmarked for future research. Now, you can take the topic concept and create it for yourself because you've already come up with your unique lane on YouTube. So long as you switch up the content to fit your own style, you won't have to worry about plagiarism. This is also derived from the term stealing like an artist, where instead of stealing one-to-one, which by the way is a big no-no, don't do that, where you take inspiration, draw it from others, and put your own creative spin on the idea. Second, understanding the missing pieces. Now that you have a list of topics, take this a step further by finding points that haven't been covered yet. I personally start by looking at the comments on the outlier videos that I find. I then deep dive them even further to see if there are any questions from viewers or things that people found interesting. This here is by far the best way to find topics that viewers weren't clear on, and it allows you to answer those questions in your improved video. It's from here where you can take it a step further, look up blogs, articles, Reddit threads, other forums, so that you can find the missing piece to the video there. After that, explore and understand the topic. A lot of people approach videos that they have no idea what they're talking about, and that is a huge no-no. Listen, if I'm making a video about dropshipping and I've never even opened a Shopify account, I'd be very limited on the type of content that I could create. In the last 5 years, I learned that by taking more time to learn and truly understand a topic, that I'll be able to filter the highest value information to share to my audience. Now, if you're making a video on investing, put money in and try it out. If you're making a video about a new phone, buy that new phone and use it before you publish the video. I know research can take a lot of time, but experience will always give you more perspective that you can share and expand upon. So from here, the last thing you want to do is to find a creative angle to share this new information. Looking around on YouTube, you'll notice that there are many different formats that exist on the way that you can deliver the content. If we were to keep things simple and narrow, at least for long form content, not even going into shorts and all that, you have your hero, your evergreen, and your timely content. Now, hero content is designed to be wide reaching and hit the browse algorithm. Your evergreen content is designed to be deep on a topic and hit the search page, and your timely content is designed to catch a short news wave sharing the latest events as they happen. Figure out which format best fits your own channel and use that to filter the information that you're sharing. It's at this point you should be able to make a massive impact on your viewer by sharing high value content with your unique twist. So zooming out a bit, we are now halfway through the climb method, and at this point you should now know what goes into making a high value piece of content that will get the attention of viewers. Next, you should now know the formula in being able to bring a unique spin to the content that you make to stand away from the crowd. Last, you should now know how to make true impact with your audience with each single video that you make. Now, by doing all that, not only are you attracting viewers to your channel, but you are now creating a community of highly dedicated followers to your channel. So what's next? Well, I mentioned earlier that you need to build your content towards a solution. So this is where we make and launch your own product. So in the last few years, I've been building up the skills to launch multiple products to solve problems that my own audience has. My biggest takeaway is that there are many different ways to launch a product, but then also many different products that you could create. Take as an example of what I did in 2021, where we scaled our membership group from $0 to $200,000 in a single month of reoccurring revenue. The process for this started with me making content, providing the value, adding the unique spin, doing all the things that we talked about, and then getting a better understanding of the audience at this point to then create a product where I was able to provide service to what my audience needed the most. This year, in essence, is just starting another business, and this year is the essence of also starting your minimum viable product. So what had happened was in the crypto bull market, we were popping off, getting views, and my audience wanted to learn how to make winning trades. We were getting a ton of comments such as, Brian, is there any way that you can coach me? Or is there a community that I can join? Or is there a way that I can look at your buy and sell alerts? Or is there a way that I could even see the research that you're doing for your videos? Once I was able to identify the unique proposition or the value that we can provide to others, it was just a matter of time of just releasing the value to the audience that I'd already built up. Now, before we go into the B, which is bring in the dough, I need to go over some of the few pointers that have really completely just changed the way that we're able to launch and scale our digital products. So first, don't wait until it's perfect. With my first community group, I launched it quickly to get the audience a solution. Now, I was in that process and made a lot of mistakes in the launch that taught me how to be prepared for successful launches in the future. Preparation doesn't always guarantee success. And in the beginning, you just need to put out your basic minimum viable product and you get feedback. It's from there where you slowly refine the product that you have, add in new features, add in new benefits, but without the community, you won't know what you're missing. But remember, if you don't even have anything put out in the first place, you won't know what else you need to refine. Second huge thing I learned, focus on launching one at a time. If your audience is as diverse as maybe mine is, you may want to launch a bunch of different products at once, but having a bunch of products that you're offering can confuse the viewer and you can also lose focus in what you're doing. I believe the key to launching successful products is the same intentionality that you had in bringing good content delivered to your audience. So make sure that you have clear focus, clarity on what your offering is going to be. Now, finally, we are number 5, the B, in bringing in the dough. Now, you could be thinking, no one is going to buy my product. Well, there's one of 2 outcomes that you can see happen. So first, you either make your money back or you learn the most valuable skill on the internet right now. You see, the working world is shifting online, and having the skills to create content and launch and sell your own products will allow you to earn for years to come. Look, the most successful billionaires in the world, Elon Musk, made $22 million from selling his first company, but is now worth billions. Mark Cuban sold his first company for $6 million, but he then made billions later on. This is because they learned the skill in order to make more money, in order to become rich. And the point I want to deliver here is that your first launch may not even bring in millions or even thousands of dollars, but it will lay the foundation for your success later on. It truly all just comes down to your mindset. If a video performs badly, are you going to get discouraged and give up, or are you going to look at the analytics to learn what went wrong? If a product launch fails, are you going to throw in the towel or find out how you can be better next time? The harsh truth is that your first launch is pretty likely to fail, but keep trying because you will eventually find success. Now, you never know when it will happen either. The founder of McDonald's launched many businesses, but didn't get his big break until he was 52 years old. The beauty of product launches is that you can always continue to repeat, refine, and reattempt if it's not working out. This follows the principle of build, launch, scale, and repeat, and it gives you a chance to create several businesses that will make you money for years to come. Plus, if you create a product with enough impact, you can build a business that grows beyond just your own YouTube channel. Now, if you're watching to this point, you're already a lot more likely to build your own successful creator business. And it's through this where I want to share with you some even more additional exclusive access to my expert tips, systems, processes, and organization workflows to give you a head start. Look, guys, I'm gonna keep things very straightforward. I don't have a fake pre-recorded webinar. I don't have a full email sequence to funnel you guys into. I have a link to a product that I'm personally proud of that I know can change lives. If you want to take the leap of faith forward, check out the link down below in the description and give it a shot. If you don't care to invest in yourself, the free content we have here on YouTube still provides enough value for you to get started on wherever you are with your journey. This message here is meant for anyone who is serious about the journey that you're about to partake. And if you want the full playbook book to give you shortcuts to the whole world that I've been teaching you about in this video here today. I have a link to my full course on everything I've learned, including SOPs, contracts, sponsorships, making the very best content possible, giving you a deep inside look even at my own YouTube analytics. A link to that will be down below. So ladies and gents, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and if you made it to the end, comment down below elf, because your boy, I know I look like an elf with this hat. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, by the way. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.